Good morning. One more time. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome to what is a special session. It's special because we have special guests. Okay, so I know many of you are very accustomed to the ABC doing virtual sessions all the time, but today's a special session. We have special guests, and they are here to empower you with information, education, and knowledge. So we may have some visitors, as in guest attendees as well, and you may not know who I am. So my name is Melvin Coleman. I'm the president and CEO of the ABC, and we're an organization of entrepreneurs based here in the Atlanta area, but our membership, our impact, our effect on the diaspora is truly global. So we may have some friends here from the continent or from South America or wherever, because I think 11 a.m. our time is still a good time for a lot of people all over the world. So by all means, let us know in the chat who you are, where you're from. We truly appreciate everybody being in attendance for this particular session. So, as many of you are well aware, for any entrepreneur, regardless of the space that you occupy, whatever specialization, whatever focus, branding, okay, marketing, these things are vital, and if done well, it definitely makes a difference in all of the, say, the outcomes that you desire for your business. So once again, I'm excited to have a special guest today, and they're here to share from their experience, okay, from their wealth of experience, no doubt, you know, how the game is supposed to be played. And as always, the ABC is going to use its platform to expose you to the right people, the right knowledge, at the right time, so you can make the right decisions. Okay, so having said all of that, I would like to say good morning to, let me do something. I typically don't do this on Tuesday Talks, but I'm going to do this where we see we can feature her as the speaker. Yeah, because I want everybody to get a good look at the queen. So good morning, Coach Camille.
Good
Okay.
morning. Good morning, Melvin. Thank you so much. That was a amazing introduction. Thank you, guys. Hi, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Shout out to you guys for waking up today and making this a priority, making this important, because we do have a lot of good information today. So for those of you that do not know me, I am Coach Camille Marine. I'm the founder of SBS Branding, where we specialize in some really creative marketing solutions. I'm also the founder of FUBU Magazine. We have a lot of different media opportunities within that community. So first, I want to thank Atlanta Black Chambers for having me on the show today. I also want to thank co-founder of FUBU, J. Alexander Martin, for making this opportunity come alive as well. Today, I'm really excited to share our theme with you, which is stand up, scale up, and show out, right? A lot of us have a lot of pain points when it comes to marketing. And a lot of it starts with visibility, not being seen, not getting the feedback, not getting the support that we all need when we are starting our brand, right? So I want to start today with just some really important points that we can consider when we're thinking about scaling a brand or an idea. So first, we're going to talk about how to build a memorable brand, right? So when most people think of a brand, they think of household industry names like Gucci, and things like that, Prada, you know, all of those high fashion or big names in the industry. We think that is the objective to your brand, right? But it's not. A brand is not just a logo. It's really more so about how people connect to your brand, how it makes them feel when they interact with you. That is a brand, not the time spent into the design processes, right? So I want to share with you, I have multiple endeavors. I started out just as a creative individual, like a lot of you on the chat today, with just some ideas and wanted to monetize those ideas, right? And you're going to have a lot of people that may not understand entrepreneurship, what that looks like, and may direct you in the wrong areas to focus your attention on, because you want to focus on your why. That's the most important thing. If you follow Coach Camille Marine on Instagram, if you follow Full Bloom Magazine, we always share really, really fun creative content for entrepreneurs so that we can have a roadmap. So number one is bringing your idea to life. What is your why? Why is it important to you? Is it a passion project? Is it a business idea that you just want to monetize from and create passive income, right? So these are things that we all really need to think about if we want to become entrepreneurs and have a successful brand, if we want to stand out, right? The first thing we want to consider is, what is our why? So remember, the brand is not your logo. You don't have to spend a lot of time on your logo. A lot of times you can really create just the name, a nice font. When people look at a script font, they may say, okay, this is an elegant brand. This brand has class. Or you may see something that's a little more edgy, a little more grunge. Oh, this reminds me of a podcast. This reminds me of a retail brand. So things like that you can consider when it comes to how you want to make people feel when they interact with your brand, right? So also we want to consider, when we're thinking about a memorable brand, be clear about your mission, be clear about your values, and be clear about the audience that you want to attract. Because sometimes, have we all heard of a jack of too many trades? If you have, throw a thumbs up in the chat. We all know what a jack of all trades is, a master of none. So we don't want to come off as if we're doing too much message. So be clear about your message. Really focus on that why, because that's number one. Why is it important? Is it a passion project? Pour into that from that perspective. If it's for monetizing, pour in it from a strategic marketing standpoint. So be clear about your mission, right? Stay consistent across all platforms. If you have a business and you're using social media to market your services, necessarily you don't have to have a lot of personal content on there. You want to stick to one brand message. I've found that to be a disservice for me in a lot of areas when I first started to do business, and I find that to be a disservice with a lot of creatives that I work with. Sometimes your message just gets lost. If I'm coming to visit you and see, what does your online presence look like? What happens when I Google your name? What comes up? If I see a whole bunch of things that does not remind me of the person that I just met, that I just spoke to, that just gave me this rush of inspiration, and I'm like, do they even do what they said that they do? You know, so it does change people's perspective of you when you don't have a clear brand message and things are not cohesive across your social media platforms and your different marketing platforms. So that's very important to keep in mind. So how to build a memorable brand, it's not just the logo. You want to consider how it makes people feel. You want to be clear about your brand messaging, and you also want to stay consistent and cohesive across all of your platforms. So we're going to move along a little bit. I do have a lot of things to cover with you guys today, but I wanted to start from the foundation for those of you that have never launched an idea or product before. Most of us get really intimidated by the idea of launching a product. Why? Because we just don't have enough confidence yet. We don't have the right environment around us and community that can share resources that won't make it feel like an extra an extra job to add on, because I think a lot of us create brands because we want to quit our 9 to 5s. We want to secure financial freedom and a financial wall around ourselves and our family. So we want to really just take a week, a month, no longer than a month, but at least take 1 to 4 weeks to really consider those things. What is your why, and how to build a memorable brand? So marketing strategies do not always have to break the bank. We're going to move along to investment, because a lot of times people never move on their ideas because they're always thinking about how much it's going to cost them. So if you have an idea, you are the first person that needs to stand behind your idea financially, spiritually, and physically, putting in the time so that you can show up and be the ambassador and create the blueprint for your brand. So just want to give you some quick marketing tools. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Canva. Canva is a really amazing tool. You guys can accomplish so much using Canva, from graphic design, presentations, you can design websites. All of your marketing materials can actually be done in Canva. And you don't even have to pay for it. They do have a free account that you can create your images, download them in different file formats, such as PDF and regular JPEG files. You can download these and use them immediately for marketing that day. Go right to Staples Office Max and print out the marketing materials that you need, and you can start to create a visual presentation for your brand. So Canva, if you haven't been on canva.com, definitely check it out. I'll save some of the hacks, Canva hacks. I do have a Canva course that I do coach that'll teach you the beginning navigation of Canva. And then we do go into something more of an AI training to teach you how to incorporate the AI technology that Canva has now merged with, because you can literally just tell it what to do and it will create the projects for you. So you guys definitely check that out. You want to pay attention to your email list. Lead generation is really important. That's something that you should be your mantra when you go to sleep. Lead generation, because that is your community. That is an authentic group of people that are showing you from the jump that they support your idea and your mission. So having a way to capture leads when you pass out. How many of you have went out, spent a lot of money on someone to design your business card? Go buy 1,000 business cards, give them all out, and never speak to anyone. You don't know if anyone has contacted you. You just don't know the marketing. You can't track any KPI. And for those that don't know KPI is your key performance indicator, which is a fancy word for data. You just want to know, if I did this, then this happened. So if you gave out 1,000 business cards and no one called you, that is a waste of your investment. So having an email list, being knowledgeable on how to generate an email list of contacts is super important to standing out and scaling. Organic social media. A lot of times you do not have to be over strategic. You just have to be direct, intentional, and consistent. People care about you before they care about the product. They buy into you before they buy into the product. So always remember that. Use your social media platforms to be direct. Know your why. If it's a passion project, allow people to see the process. Allow them to see you excited about your launch. Allow them to see you excited about your inventory, about your sales and your marketing, and things of that nature. So always keep those things in mind when we're considering marketing strategies that don't break the bank, because everything that I mentioned to you does not cost a lot and is very, very inexpensive. Online presence. Online presence is really important because that is your credibility. A lot of us don't have websites, yes, or a lot of us have built our own websites. It's great, but our online presence, again, is everything. If you meet someone and they are super inspired by you, they want to connect with you immediately, and your online presence is not set up in a way that it can funnel them back to you or even allow you to see the connection of them reaching out to you, that is always going to do you a disservice. So make sure that your website and your landing page is clean and simple. You don't have to have a lot of bells and whistles, especially if you're just starting out, because a lot of times it can be too confusing and there's no call to action, right? That's the whole point of us having our website and our landing page up, is because we want them to either buy into our sales operation, purchase something, or reach out to us and let us know, hey, I was interested in your services or your product. So make sure you have a clean and easy website that people can connect with you and you can contact them back. Most very important. You want to have a strong bio. If some of you are familiar with ChatGPT, you can go to ChatGPT and audit your own social media. I don't know if you guys know that. If you are familiar with ChatGPT, throw a thumbs up in the chat. We'll make sure that we give you information that will elevate and enhance some of the projects you're working on, because AI technology is growing and it's amazing. Some of us are still coming around to say, hey, I'm just going to have to learn AI. I know a few of us are just not ready for the advancement and the cutting edge technology of AI. However, AI does provide you with resources that make your day-to-day job responsibilities more efficient. So you can use ChatGPT to audit your social media. It can tell you what's wrong, why you're not getting engagements. You just put it in and say, act like a social media consultant and audit my profile. And you'll be surprised at some of the things that you can actually change to elevate your social media. Okay, so optimizing your social media platforms and having a clear profile pic is also important. A lot of us don't really have good pictures up. A lot of us don't have professional pictures up, meaning the resolution of the photo. Some of us just take the photo and we put it up. So if you have a friend or someone that is good with digital photos, just ask their opinion. Is this picture of good clarity to you? Is it blurry? Does this present me in my best light? Right? Get that feedback so that you're confident when your picture is up. It's not about the filters and things like that. People really just want to know who they're doing business with and feel your energy, right? A picture says a lot. So take a good photo and have that attached to your bio and your landing page so people can buy into you and your products and your services. Action steps people can take immediately. I'm all about actions. I'm not going to give you all of these things to do and it doesn't really lead to anything. We actually have to implement now. We can't just talk about it and write this list out. We actually want to start. So audit your profile as of today. When we get off this Zoom today, go on ChatGPT. Again, another free software that we can use to make our businesses more efficient. Go audit your profile. Doesn't have to be Instagram. It could be your website. It could be your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your LinkedIn. Go audit it, screenshot it, and put it into ChatGPT and see what improvements that you can make based off of that response. Then ask yourself, audit your own profile. Does this represent my brand? Be your own case study. Act like you are a consumer coming to your online profile for the first time. Does it speak for your business? Does it reflect your brand? Does it reflect your brand message? So ask yourself these things. Commit to one platform consistently. Um, a lot of us have a lot of social media platforms, but if we are not consistently putting our strategy in one place, then we will never see the results and we will never gain the traction that we need so that it can expand. So consider that. Commit to one platform consistently. Create a clear call to action and get some feedback. Ask some friends and family to give you some strong, constructive feedback. We call this beta testing, right? It's a fancy word for just getting some feedback so you know how to move as the owner of your company and your brand, right? So that brings me to the end of that portion of our presentation of scaling, standing out in the crowd, standing up with confidence about your brand. Definitely keep those key takeaway points. I also wanted to talk with a special guest today that we have, co-founder of FUBU, J. Alexander Martin. I'm thrilled to be speaking to him, for one, because I'm from New York, I'm from Queens. I loved the brand FUBU. I loved everything that they've done as entrepreneurs in the fashion industry. Jay, his vision has reshaped culture, fashion, and entrepreneurship worldwide. He also is a book author. His most recent book is The Strength of For Us By Us. It's available on Amazon. You guys definitely need to pick it up so you can hear more in depth some of his gems and his secrets that has gotten him this far and a success in his industry. So I want to thank you, Jay, for being on the show with me today. And yeah, let everybody know how you're doing.
How's it going, everybody? I don't know if everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, please wave.
Yeah, bro,
Thanks.
we,
All
we
right,
got
cool.
you, man.
Cool. Thank
Yeah,
you. Appreciate that.
glad to hear
Sometimes when you're talking these things, you're like, is anybody, am I here? So it's all good.
Sure
Technology
thing.
helps you out, but then again, it makes you look kind of crazy sometimes too. But it's funny, guys, this is the Atlanta Chamber. I'm actually on the board of the National Black Chamber of Commerce. I've been on the board for at least 15 years.
you.
So,
Nice.
you know, this is this is a long time coming. I haven't spoken to the Atlanta one, so I've spoken to anyone at the Atlanta one, but I've been around throughout. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, amazing. Things align, right? Nothing happens by chance. So all of the work that you've been putting in, we've been putting in, has gotten us on this Zoom together, all these like-minded individuals that are inspired and are co-creating with us. So I'm excited for you to share some insight and have this Q&A session with me so that we can dive into some inspiration for our listeners. So
Let's
first
go.
question I have for you is, what made you believe in your vision when you were first starting FUBU?
Well, if I had $1 for everyone that I would try to teach them vision,
Mm-hmm.
I may have a lot more money than I have right now. But vision is weird because you really can't teach that. It's something that you have to innately have
Mm,
because you have to have foresight. You have to know what's going to be it. You're going to have to know what's going to be popular. You're going to have to know where you're going to be, or uh, you have to have just a look or a crystal ball into what your idea is going to, how the idea, I should say, is going to pan out,
yeah,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years from now. So for me, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I could do. I had more confidence in myself than any other. And I know if I couldn't do it, then nobody could.
right.
So you have to have a combination of super confidence because again, to be an entrepreneur, you can't just be an entrepreneur by yourself. Then that'll make you a solopreneur. But then again, what are you really doing? Because if you're not employing anybody and you're not pushing, your business forward and scaling, then you don't have a business, you have a hobby.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
for me, I just felt that I just knew what I wanted to do, and I could see it before it was actually done. And that's
Right.
an innate ability that you have to have when you're an entrepreneur.
So, Jay, what I'm hearing is you had foresight already, and that allowed you to see the bigger picture from the beginning.
Well, here's the point about a bigger picture. It's to see a picture that's not even there. Because again, everyone here on this call is an entrepreneur. They came up with an idea. That idea is either based off of something that's missing, something that's there, or something that they want to enhance. Or last but least, something that was not there at all. Let's go for what's not there at all. You know how many times somebody as an entrepreneur says, somebody said, I can't do it.
Right.
That's them looking at what's not there. So
Exactly.
how do you convince yourself that it can be there?
I love that. I definitely think that's where the inspired visionary comes from, because you have to have a vision to see something that isn't there and to actually start to walk in alignment with that and make up the pieces as you go. And I think that starts with confidence, right? I like somebody put in the chat, they said, confidence plus vision is the key. And you're absolutely right. It is absolutely the key.
I tell you a funny story. Someone will come up to me and take a picture, and they'll take the camera, they'll put it in my face and say, hey, you want to see the picture? And I say, no, I know what I look like. I look good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can't look bad. I can't say that's not a nice picture because it's me.
I love that. That's definitely a gem to keep. You have to walk in the room confident so that you can attract what you are.
Again, I'm not going to sit there and act like I am the be in all of it, because sometimes I have to sit back and I have to put, I have to put myself in a timeout and say, man, whew, are you fronting or you're not? Like, can you really do this? You know what I mean? So I got to push myself as well. But when I'm face to face and I'm out there showing people this is what I can do, you're gonna believe me, and you're gonna want to come and be a part of what I'm doing, because
Yeah.
I can't do it by myself.
Right. So what do you think are some of the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make when they're trying to build a brand?
Well, I think the biggest mistakes that people make is that they say, hey, they have a brand. I'll say it again. The biggest mistake is that you say you have a brand. You don't have anything yet. You have an idea.
Right.
You have a brand until years later, until you have confidence in something that you're doing and you have sales.
Yeah.
So, you getting a cart before the horse. You're hyping yourself up to make something that you don't really have.
Yeah. Yes. It's
So you have
funny.
to build to that. So it's almost like, they say a tree grows both ways, right? It grows up and it grows down, but first it has to grow the roots. You have to grow the roots first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Creating that structure, the roots that are gonna secure the brand,
Right.
make
So
it durable,
the
make it
brand starts to
last.
happen. The brand part starts to happen when for instance, I created, we started first with a hat. I didn't have a brand, I had a hat. And then from a hat, we went to a t-shirt. I still didn't have a brand. From a t-shirt, I went to jeans. I went to a belt. I went to socks. I went to underwear. Now I began to create a brand.
So the brand is the traction, is the movement that's
Well,
made over
it's the
time.
scaling. It's the scaling. You know what I mean? It's the scaling. And I guess if we look at it in its entirety or its totality or to the end, which is never the end, because you have vision, you're never going to stop. You're always going to keep creating and keep moving and keep pushing your brand forward, right? For
Absolutely.
instance, if I have a hat, I need a t-shirt. If I need a t-shirt, I need pants or shorts. If I need shorts, I need underwear. If I need underwear, it just goes on and on and on and on and
Yeah,
on
it's
and
the
on.
specs. You're
Right. So
absolutely
you
right.
have to start from one thing and build on that. That way you'll always win. because you're building within your bubble, within your ecosystem, and you're growing step by step by step, brick by brick by brick, versus I'm going to start with everything, because you can't start with everything because it's not accessible.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. You have to learn your own sales
Everything,
operation.
correct. And everything needs to work in tangent with each other.
Absolutely.
So, for instance,
Great advice.
I market a lot. So then what do? I start a media company. What do
Hmm.
you mean you start a media company? Yeah, because now I need to market. Everything is within you, where you can control. At least it's
Yeah,
control as much as you can.
absolutely. Well, that's really good advice. I do find the same problem points when I'm working with different clients, that a lot of them are so eager to take the credit of having a brand and have not created any specs. They have no sales operation. They have no ROI. They have not received any return on their investment, or even have set up a good sales operation for them to sustain themselves and advance. So I think that's really good. Focusing on having the idea, putting the time
Well,
in.
it's called the fashion business. It's not
Hmm.
called just the fashion. It's called the
Hmm.
music business, not called just the music. And I think that people get so excited and caught up in the act of what they're doing and the excitement of, look what I just did, and look, I got my LLC, that they're forgetting about the business portion of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great key point. So in today's digital age, and when I say digital age, I mean like the age of AI and all of this cutting edge technology. Um, how can small businesses compete with major brands, such as FUBU in that aspect? How can they compete in this time?
Oh, I mean, again, every big brand that you speak of was once a small brand. And that question was probably asked to them as well. And what I believe, you have to believe in what your product is. That's one. And
Mhm.
two, you have to use the
Okay.
resources that are available to you. When I first started, in fashion, we didn't have all of this stuff that we had. We didn't have internet. We didn't have any of that. I had markers, and I had paper, and I had Kinkos to make my catalogs. I'm probably still a little messed up in the head from all the markers I used from the fumes. So,
That's
we
funny.
didn't have all these resources.
You're
So
showing
the
your
things we did,
age.
and then the resources we did have, we had to pay for them. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
so you guys can, in this day, to me, to take advantage of what's there. We didn't have, AI and ChatGPT, and actually, I'm a founder of a company called Smart Ledger. We didn't now, which is tech, and I'm
Okay.
learning all the new tech, innovations and things like that. I mean, I could take simple as, if I needed a press release, I'd have to go to a PR person, and then they'd have to charge me 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, in business, but things happen. Because innovations change and life things change. Now, if I needed a quick bio, I go to ChatGPT, AI, or whatever, or actually I really go to my own company and I say, write me a bio.
Right.
And I may have to tailor it here and there. And again, it comes out with something perfect.
Yeah.
And
So it's
did I
no
just
excuse.
X out a whole business? Did I just
No.
X out something in my business that I don't have to pay for? Yes, but not necessarily, no.
Mm-hmm.
Because now what happens is, everything is tailored differently. Everything, don't ever, never, I should always tell people, never be scared of new innovations and new things and growing, because you grow. You just have to learn how to grow with it.
Yeah. You got to do it. You got to do it nervous, scared, all just do it. You have to go
Because
through the
it's
trial and
freeing up
error.
time. So now the PR person doesn't have to go off and take their time to do everything. They can do it that way as well. But now one thing is never going to change, that human aspect, because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to get it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. Well, I love the fact that we have AI too, and I think you're right. It's an even better tool that we didn't have, 10 years ago, that we can use to elevate our brand, get ourselves established, create the foundation from the beginning, like having our our contracts and all our paperwork together and all of those things.
Right,
Even
but
having a
every time,
roadmap, you can even use AI to suggest you a roadmap, which
well, again, you said contracts. A lot of people may not have the financial wherewithal to find a lawyer. Not
right,
at least you can have some type of protection,
absolutely.
some type, and because listen, I don't know, I could tell you how many times somebody said somebody jerked me. No, it's not. Nobody jerks you. It's the deal you cut.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. You definitely gotta know what you want when you come to the table. And so how do you personally stand out in the marketplace? So how would you suggest an up and coming retail brand or any brand that's going to have some type of monetization going on or a sales department? How would you suggest that they personally stand out?
I think standing out as an individual thing.
Hmm.
Again, being an individual, you have to what? First things first is find an identity
Hmm.
and stay
Image
true to that
consulting, yeah.
identity. Stay true to that identity
Hmm.
and walk that identity, be that identity uh, from day, night, you wake up, go to sleep, everything.
That's right.
Live, work, breathe that, whatever that is. Live,
Right, because people
breathe it.
buy into you, right? And as you walk your daily life, they're buying into you. So
Right, right,
I
right. But they are, yes, but they are buying into you. But there's two ways to look at this. You have to understand if they're going to buy into you and you become your brand, then that's what it is. Or you want to isolate it and the item or the service becomes the brand.
do you speak on entrepreneurship in your book?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I speak in entrepreneurship in all my books. Because
Hmm.
that's all I know, because that's all I am, because that's all I speak about, because that's all I do.
Hmm.
I don't ever talk about something that I don't do, or I've never,
Hmm.
because I have no education on it.
Hmm.
I try to have education on everything and
Absolutely.
every little thing. I have a practice. What I do is I try to do three things at once, at all times, and
Hmm.
that gives me the ability to disseminate a problem, disseminate a situation, to break it down and give you an answer in 2 seconds. So
So Jay,
I'm AI. I'm AI right now.
you you
I
strike
don't
me
have the
as
same.
a solution based um person. And
Well,
that's why
solution.
your business
Yeah.
has been successful because it sounds like your default has always been to find the solution, to envision the solution, even if it wasn't there yet.
Because yes, because a situation that's not working out is a solution as well. Because I know that's not working.
Working, absolutely.
That's a
You
solution.
hear that, guys? You have to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there so you can go through the trial and error because it will shape your confidence,
But you
right?
know what, too? I want to tell you, I want to stop and say something real quick.
Mhm.
Everyone needs to listen to. Just because you think it's not working and it's working, one. Two, just because you want it to work doesn't mean it's going to work.
Mhm.
Three, you have to go through stuff, and when it's ready, it will work. Meaning, if you're putting food into a plate, I mean, to a pot, and you're cooking it, if you take it out, it's raw. You're not ready. You just because you think you're ready, just because I didn't ask God to tell me I'm ready,
Yeah.
and you didn't, I'm trying to be spiritual here. You're not ready yet. So when it's ready, it's gonna work. When it's not working, it's not ready. Just leave it at that. And it's
Right.
not God's fault because God is a God of choices, and your choice is to keep going, 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 going until you make it right. Now,
Mm.
there is a time when you may say, maybe this is not working. And you say, well, is this the right thing I need to be doing? Then you need your real dissemination to find out if this is the right thing you need to be doing. Because some people will go, I want to do, I want to make purple horseshoes because I just woke up and thought of that. No, a purple horseshoe is not going to work. So you have to really sit back and do your homework and understand what that business is going to do and what it's going to do for others, many others, because you
Yeah,
don't have a business if you only sell to two people.
absolutely. That was a great point. I did see someone chime in the chat. They were asking if we ever struggled with imposter syndrome. And it's a new word that's kind of come relative lately, but imposter syndrome is where people see you one way, but you don't necessarily believe that yourself. So it doesn't mean that you're faking. It just it's, I guess, the process that someone goes through, not feeling like the person that people see them as. So
And I think that phrase came about because of the derived through social media, because
mhm,
now you get to see so many people's fake lives or even real lives, and you want to emulate that, or you'll say, oh, if they could do it, I could do it too. And now
mhm,
you're saying, because, oh, if they have that, then I'm better than that. So that, I think that's why that phrase came about. Because
yeah,
prior to that, I don't know, in my generation, we were just doing it. We didn't
exactly.
care
We
about
were just
whatever
doing
anybody was thinking.
it. I totally agree. And as a consultant and as a coach, I definitely, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I definitely think environment is key. Surround yourself around positive reinforcement, whatever that looks like. When it comes to your idea and your
Wait,
brand and your business.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna totally. You just said surround yourself with. Yes, that's great. You may be able to do that, and that's beautiful. But you shouldn't care less
Mm-hmm.
about what somebody is. You should use. I would rather hang around with people that are telling me no,
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to work, and then tell me reason why they think it's not going to work. Because now I got answers. Okay, I gotta watch out for that. I gotta watch out for that. Gotta watch out for that. Because if I just have everybody, yeah, like mine, yeah, you're right, yeah, you're right. I think I'm always right. So
Mm-hmm.
you never just want to have like-minded. You want
Mm-hmm.
to have a,
Good point.
a
Yeah.
group
A
of
good
people,
balance.
but a
A good
collective
balance.
balance of people that are going to, help you and push you. Because when people say, I want to be an entrepreneur, and they come to me and say, what do you think I should be the entrepreneur? I tell you, get out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
They look at me like I got five heads. Like, why are you telling me to get out of your face? Because an entrepreneur wouldn't ask me that question.
Mm-hmm.
An
Yeah.
entrepreneur would just do it and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. What are you doing? I have a service for you. Hey, you might want to check this out.
Yeah, I got you. We all need a little bit of constructive criticism to balance things out.
Right. And so you
Um,
write down everything that reason why somebody tell you wouldn't work.
mhm.
And then you
Absolutely.
start knocking it out.
I even suggest maybe asking for the feedback, for some constructive
On social
criticism.
media, you're gonna get it
Yeah,
anyway, if you
yeah.
want it or not.
Yeah, but for those, just to be clear, for those that are procrastinating on their ideas because they have a lack of support, like some people are in relationships and they can't talk to their partner about their ideas. Why? Because their partner does not give them positive reinforcement. It doesn't mean that they can't accept the constructive criticism, just means that they don't have the push that they need to push towards their confidence level.
Right.
So I just
Stop
want to be
looking for
clear.
people to validate you.
Most definitely. Miss Nookie in the chat said that's the wrong partner. Absolutely.
No, it's
So
not the wrong partner. No, it's not.
the
No, it's not. Because
partner
you
that's not
need
going
you
to
because of
encourage you,
no, wrong. I don't believe that. I'm so sorry. I
it's
believe,
okay.
and again, I mean, we can disagree to agree.
Sure.
But my thing is a partner can have that no, because she
Mhm.
or he is looking out for what he feels. And if he didn't care, he wouldn't say anything.
Mhm.
So he's caring
That's
about.
fair. That's a
So
fair perspective.
it's up to you to prove that person wrong,
I
or
love that.
or to prove yourself right.
Absolutely. This was great, Jay. I think that we covered a lot, And you're absolutely right. I think that we should do this again. We should put the gloves back on. No, I'm just playing. We should definitely talk more about this, dive in some more about your book and how we can apply some of those principles that you mentioned in your book. But just to recap, we want to work on our brand standing out by having confidence, being able to stand behind our brand with confidence. We want to stand out from the crowd by being confident and using some of the cutting edge technology that we
And
have
zig when people zag.
Exactly.
Stop doing what everybody else is doing and do what you do. Stop
Right.
looking at what everybody else is doing and do what you do. And then people will come to you because it's
Set
different.
yourself apart. Yeah. Set yourself apart. I love that. So it was really great chatting with you. I know we're coming to an end. Melvin, feel free to chime in if you have any questions for
Yeah.
Jay.
Couple things. First of all, I mean, great having you speak to the Atlanta Black Chambers for the first time, brother. Um, in the chat, somebody said, "Okay, where can we get the book?" So you definitely want to share that because you've written the book. You definitely want them to go and check it out. So, what would you say to them if they want to get your book? You would tell them directly to go here, or what do you want them to
You
do?
could either go to, I mean, to be honest, the best way to do it is just to Google me, or you can just go to my website,jalexandermartin.com.
Okay.
And with the J, the letter
Okay.
J,
Yep.
period, Alexander Martin.com. And that way my book is there. And then it will lead you to the other books that I have, other 3 books that I have.
Okay.
Or
Right.
it'll lead you to my social media that you can follow me. And we can, or we could talk. Because I'm always available to have, side conversations and respect to my time, respect to your time as well. So again, she mentioned about maybe having doing this again, but I'd like to do this again and maybe even do this again in person. I
Nice.
feel more,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love speaking and I love passionately speaking about entrepreneurship, but I think I like to speak more about the principle of it because the mindset of it, necessarily the technical portion of it, because the technical portion won't ever work if you don't have the mindset to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. And resilience. That's the first thing that pops in my mind when you say that.
Entrepreneurship is the hardest job there is.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be built from a different cloth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Say
Most
that again.
definitely.
Coach Camille, there were a couple of questions in the chat, and I definitely would like if you or if Jay's available to respond. Somebody simply put, is there an alternative to Canva? Because Canva is so popular, and they're like, is there an alternative? Is there something else that's out there that you think is a competitor or does the same thing that they should know about, or has Canva got the monopoly on this thing? You know what I thought it was a good question.
Yeah, it is a great question. There's obviously other design apps, but the closest thing to an Adobe Photoshop is Canva. And Adobe is the best. So I would definitely suggest sticking with Canva. It's the easiest, it's the most user-friendly, and it's free.
And I agree with her. I use Canva as well. I use Adobe, of course, through Fashion, Illustrator, Photoshop, and the works, and the whole brand of what they have. But I'm more of a technical. It's more of a technical aspect. But if I need something done, I need it done quick. I need it easy. I go right to Canva. Canva is online. You can carry it on. You can get it on your phone as well. So it moves with you just as well as Adobe. But Adobe is technical, so you really have to really know certain aspects of fashion or certain aspects of this, and it takes a lot of work to actually create.
Yeah, you do have to be savvy to do something like that.
Okay. And just because we do have a good 5 minutes or so, is there one person, possibly two, but definitely one, who has a question for JR Coach Camille before we close the session? Please, whoever unmutes first and introduces themselves, you can pose that question. Going once, twice. Make sure everybody has the ability to unmute. I think you can.
Hi, I'm unmuting myself.
Okay. Hello. Yes.
Hi, thank you so much for your time today. I'm Tope Mitchell, and I'm the CEO of Reflect Me. So we are a fashion retail tech company. And what we do is we show people in every single size when you shop online. So something that we're coming across when we launched with Levi's, for example, is that brands right now today are, especially in fashion, are really struggling with creating community in this e-commerce world when more and more of your market share is in e-commerce and trying to like make that connection. So similarly, I grew up, even though I'm from LA, like FUBU was like, we were always trying to buy us. Like, so are you all thinking more and more about how to create a sense of community on your website to show more like size inclusion, more inspiration directly on your product pages?
Yes, 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 and more yes. Again, we were all. It was funny. I did a post today, and I was talking, and one of the rappers from way back from the Wu-Tang Clan was talking about baggy clothes being in, and we were, when you have a baggy clothes, that usually can fit, a larger guy, because a large was looked like a extra large, and an extra large looked like a double X back in our days. So we never really had a problem with sizing in that respect. And actually, the people loved us because our sizes were bigger and at that time. So now that he's basically saying that's in, hopefully we're back in again in a bigger way. Because I even wrote on the page that we never left because we've been in business for over 30 years at this point. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, the inclusion part as far as community is always has been something that we've done, becoming being for us by us. We've always interacted and dealt with our people. If there's other ways that you can bring forward that can help that, please get my information and send me what you have.
Thank you. I definitely will. Thank you.
Is there room for one more?
One more, real quick.
I would put my video on, but it said it disabled by the host.
That's fine. Just drop your
No
question.
worries. Sometimes when you don't have a video on, people you look a little suspect, maybe. Anyway, I'm an app developer and I have my own social media app, and
Hey,
I'd like.
try it now, brother. Let me see. Try it now.
Sure, no problem.
Let me see if I can see who you are. Oh,
There we are. So I'm using the Apple Vision Pro, which makes this happen this way. But anyway, yeah, I'm a developer and I have my own social media app, but it's for businesses and people to network with. It's like a TikTok for networking and businesses. And I wanted to, get an idea of how I could get on here to speak with your audience maybe another time. I know Camille, and I just want to kind of put it out there because I think there's some information that can be disseminated and shared with what I'm doing with my social media app as as a person who wants to
so
support us
so
all.
your question is for me.
Well, yeah, well, then that would be you. I know Camille, and I was
Right,
invited by Camille,
right,
so I'm just
right.
meeting you, Melvin.
Yeah, so Camille has my information. Circle back around and shoot me an email,
Okay.
and then you and I'll have a conversation, and I can determine like,
No worries. And
you know,
again, my apologies. I didn't want to hijack the
yeah,
but it was the
yeah.
last
But
question.
no,
Yeah.
no. Hey, it's cool. I'm glad you're here, and you very well, may have something that's valuable
Yeah.
to our audience, and that's what we look for. So,
Okay.
hey, so it's
Thank you.
11:57. I'm gonna give a big shout out to my man Sean Murdoch, my primary contact. We collaborate and make these things happen. So big shout out to Sean. J. Alexander Martin, man, we really appreciate you coming coming to the ATL and dropping it virtually, brother.
Yes, yes,
I know you're here at times,
yes,
in reality. So
yes.
hopefully, when that happens, we get some advance notice and we can show up, wherever you at doing something, right?
Okay. Appreciate
So
it.
yeah, yeah.
If I can ask everyone in the chat to please definitely go to myjalexandermartin.com and follow me. And again, that way you can get my information. And if you guys any questions, then we talk.
Uh, uh, excellent, obviously. So, Coach Camille, this is what you do. You help entrepreneurs, as we say in the ABC, go to the next level.
Absolutely.
So is there anything in particular you want to share? Because I appreciate you coming on and you were dropping knowledge before we gave the mic to Jay. You were dropping the basics of the game, and we really appreciate that. So I want everybody to know how to reach Coach Camille.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm your plug for all things digital. I'm a graphic designer. We have a full service company for marketing and branding and services of that nature. You guys can join my email list for free resources and community endeavors at fullbloommagazine.com. I'm the editor-in-chief of that platform and community. We are always looking to highlight business owners, fashion, news, and entertainment. I'm also really excited for you guys to experience some of our courses. If you need some additional coaching on how to use these apps, how to work the apps, know different hacks, how you can use it for your business, feel free to contact me through my site. You can find me on Instagram at Full Bloom Mag and at Coach Camille Marine. You can also Google Camille Marine and see over 15 years of my work in different industries and the things that I've done to give me such a successful portfolio. So I really appreciate you guys coming on this Zoom with us today, taking out an hour of your time and getting some really good information.
Awesome. And to all of our guests, those of you who are not currently members of the ABC, we're not just in the metro of the ATL, we're across the country and actually all over the world. So regardless of where you are, you have the opportunity to fully engage with the Atlanta Black Chambers via membership. Go to our website. It's the name of the organization, folks, atlantablackchambers.org. All the information is there. We're probably the most active chamber in the world. Yeah, trust me. When you see everything that the ABC does, you can say, yeah, that brother was telling the truth. So hope you got something from this session. Anytime you have an opportunity to speak to someone like J. Alexander Martin, who has done it, knows it, still lives it, I think that's a great opportunity. So kudos to everybody that showed up. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do this again at some point. And for those of you who are already familiar with the ABC and how we get down, you already know we got stuff going on later today, tomorrow, the weekend, and all into next week. So thank y'all for coming through. And we're going to close out with a little Paul Hardcastle and Rainforest. Thanks everybody for coming through.